the night sky of Shanghai as we approach the end of day one here at the Dota 2 Asia Championships 2017. That's right, we're into our 6th series of the day. It is the final one today. Of course, good news for you Dota 2 fans. Tomorrow we will have more Dota 2 all day long. Same schedule, 6 more matches tomorrow. And, of course, on Wednesday we will also take part in the, well, I won't be taking part, but we will have the quarterfinals of the 1v1s. Good news that I'm not taking part, that's for sure. It'll be Jakiro mid all day long. We're back with the panel. We've had a little bit of a change. So Action Slacks has joined us to give us an update on Group A, because we are going to finish off on Group A. And Kevin's back with us as well. Welcome back, gents. We're going to finish off on Group A with Faceless. I can't do it.
Continue.
With Faceless versus Empire. You've been watching Group A all day, so
yes.
Give us your best bits of day one from Group A.
There's a lot.
Is there?
We've seen a lot of domination. My favorite team has been Wings. They've played very unique in normal Wings fashion.
Okay.
Picking really weird stuff.
But they were awful early, though.
In the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
And then
they warmed up.
Yes.
Right.
They started playing normal drafts, and it's good Wings again.
Okay.
I mean, Monkey Kings, the normal stuff.
Yeah.
A couple Oracles. Kevin, I know you love Oracle.
Yeah.
One of the only people that knows his skills. So, very good. Anyway, Wings came back. You know who also came back? Liquid. Miracle, on the other stream, he had, I believe, a 23-0 game.
Was it Team Miracle or was it Team Liquid playing?
It was a little bit of both. But,
right, okay. Well, that's
Miracle
okay,
was just, unbelievable.
Didn't they give him his Invoker at some point as well?
They did.
See, that's daft. Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Everyone else has banned it out.
Yeah.
Everyone else banned it. One team let it through, and what happens? He goes ham on them.
I mean, that's why Valve did the Dark Moon event. They actually just recorded Miracle playing Invoker. It was supposed to teach people, don't let that happen, but they just let it happen. So,
so it's been an interesting day. Then.
It has been an interesting day, a lot of fun. I am excited to see Faceless, though, in this series. Faceless was beaten in their best form. They had Black on Animage, they had Ice 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 on Timbersaw, and they got spanked. So it was surprising stuff.
Yeah, we'll see how they get on in this one. We're going to start by talking about Team Empire. And just take you through the start of the draft as well. As you can see, it has begun. Kevin, how do you assess them? Because when they came to this tournament, we all said they've done well to get to this tournament because it was a tough qualifier. They had to beat Virtus Pro on the way through. Didn't qualify for Kiev. Bit sad for them, all that kind of stuff going on. But actually, now they're here, very much the underdogs in their group. And then you go, well, we're not expecting much from them. But they were brilliant earlier today.
Yeah, I think they have really high individual skill in all their players. Like Maposhka, for example, has been like the star of various teams he's been on, and it's kind of like coagulating a lot of star players. I think FN's fantastic as well on Empire.
Yeah. And Chappie had an incredible set of qualifiers as well.
Yeah, basically all of them are super good. So it's fun to see them actually get to play. We only caught one series here on our side of the stream, which was against LGD Forever Young, I believe.
Yes.
And they played really well. They
did
more or less
games.
Stomped 2-0.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see them taking a good series against Faceless. Faceless had a really couple good games against OG where they looked like they were going to win or were almost winning, but they ended up losing. So maybe Faceless looking a little bit worse, especially if you think back to how Faceless was playing at Boston. Very underwhelming performance, but they've been playing quite well last month.
Again, qualifiers, they've been almost flawless through the qualifiers. I think that they were actually flawless in the Kiev qualifiers.
I think so,
Maybe one game they lost. I can't remember exactly, but they were undefeated in the group stage. I know they went through the top of the bracket like a hot knife through butter. They were brilliant. In terms of the lineup they've got, it's filled with experience, Kevin, as well. I mean, Black in there. We've had Black on plenty of our panels last year. It's great to see him playing again because, frankly, when I first sort of came in 2013, 2014, this guy was freaking amazing. He was playing for VG at the time. His Invoker was just absolutely insane. His Animage was insane. So to see him coming back in a big team and making big tournaments is great to see. And the same with Ice 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 as well. Daryl's always been that kind of an enigma in Dota 2. He's always been one of those unique figures that we have as part of the community. I think you need characters like that at events.
I agree, and I kind of like that he left his typical comfort zone of Chinese teams and went to form his own with his friends. Nut's one of his oldest Dota friends. Always been good friends with Black as well, to my knowledge. So it's cool to see them do a little bit of a different
very good. Very good. We are into the draft. I wouldn't say this is becoming the norm, but we have seen a troll warlord already today. We've seen plenty of Monkey Kings as well. I think that puts Monkey King around about the third most picked today. Earth Spirit, however, is the most picked of the day. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's
Paul,
Jakiro.
hold it in, Paul.
Paul, this is your moment right here.
I've been saying all day, it's coming all day, and finally, The double-headed dragon is on the board.
Yes. Do you like the new remodel? By
I
the way?
do like the remodel.
Oh, good.
It was the best thing about the patch.
Wow. Wow.
It's
Okay.
the only thing. As soon as I saw that in the patch, I was like, patch notes, yeah, patch notes. Jakiro!
Yeah.
Just ignored the rest of the patch notes and then just went off and played.
You know, I thought the best thing
Yeah.
was the Arcana. So, Valve, I really thought it was the best thing of all. I'd buy it right now if I could again.
Yeah.
Anyway, so good draft here. Now, did they win the Monkey King Troll game? Do you guys remember?
Yes.
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 Was it Empire or a different team?
It was Empire, yeah. And it was Monkey King Troll
Sniper.
Sniper game. Yes.
Save it.
I
You
It was
totally
the
thought of that
sniper game.
myself.
Yes. I was just long range shots in my head. It's sniper, yeah. Yeah, it was the Sniper Troll Monkey King game, yeah.
Mm.
Which they obviously they dominated that game as well.
Yeah, they really did. It was pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
So it looks like a pretty comfortable draft coming out from Team Empire.
Yeah.
Sticking with what
I
they
do
won
like the
last time.
fact that last year, right, when we were in Manila, I would whisper Jakiro every now and again, right? Didn't really take off. It wasn't a thing. Nobody really, pretty much everyone ignored it. Black thought it was hilarious. So when we get to TI,
It's a bad sign, a really bad
yeah, I
sign.
know,
for
right?
each
So when
target.
we get to TI, every time Black was on the draft panel, Jakiro, and everyone thought it was me.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's not me. And then everyone realised it's Black, and now we've got Black picking Jakiro.
Well, you better hope he wins, or
Is
else
he?
you've
But it's not going to
ruined
be. It's not
his
going to
life.
be Black on Jakiro, is
No,
it?
there's no way.
No.
Well, no, I'm just.
It would be
There's
funny
no
though.
way.
It would.
There's no way.
It's the ultimate troll. He's like, I'm going to troll Red Eye.
Wait till he's sure that you're covering one of his games.
Yeah, exactly,
it's
and then he
guys,
actually picks
it's
it. Yeah.
Now.
No, that's too much, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's too
easily.
much.
I don't know, man.
But he, in all seriousness, is a genuinely good hero right now. I think.
He can be good.
I mean, I'm biased, but
He has a lot
think
of
he's
attack speed
viable.
reduction.
No, I highly
Really?
disagree. I will fight you on this. I think Jakiro is trashed here. I'm sorry.
Wow.
He's bad. He's bad.
better than Omni Knight.
His skills are very specific. He's better at pushing towers than Omni. He's better at split pushing than Omni
Yep.
is.
Whoop-de-doo.
But it doesn't go super deep. I mean, he's got good damage skills. The level 15 dual breath talent is really good right now. So dual breath with like spell amp at 10 and plus damage at 15, you're doing like, I don't know, 550, 600 damage every 10 seconds with a dual
And
breath
you look
AoE.
really good doing it, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you know
sure,
who's
okay.
a better Jakiro? Is Rubik. He's so much better. He's a great Jakiro. He steals all of his spells, does everything better,
No,
quicker
that's
cast
in
points.
no way similar.
What are you talking about? He literally, if they pick Rubik, they're going to win this game because it's a better Jakiro.
If you still dual breath, maybe. Ice Path is good too, I guess, but
Anyway.
I'm not sold. I'm not sold.
I don't feel like he's that great of a hero. There's a lot of heroes in this game right now that are highly picked, that are great at pushing, they're great at team fights, they're great at stuns. I mean, why? Him in particular.
Name some.
What are you talking about? Monkey
You
King.
just named like 8 attributes, basically.
It's already gone.
Yeah, they already got him. It's over.
Okay.
But anyway.
I mean, it's good for attack speed reduction, which in some ways is just super countered by Troll anyways. But dual breath plus liquid fire are super good. Kiting damage over time prevents Monkey King from jumping on trees, so maybe that's the thought. You can use macro pyre to just blow trees up and stun him basically. That's like a guaranteed 400 magic damage on Monkey King. There's some cool things about the Jakiro pick, but I'm not sure if it's going to be a support. I doubt it'll be a mid. It'd be kind of crazy to pick it this early for that.
I'm absolutely sure it's not going to be a mid. There's no way you play that mid.
We did see at that very event where you were whispering Jakiro, they ran mid.
Yeah, they did.
team
Yeah,
and
but that
you
was
ruined
Black.
their
No, that
lives.
was Black. In that event, that was TI, and in DC ran it. It was Black that called that.
You did it. You
Yeah.
and your damn Inception.
No.
Stop whispering things into these kids' ears, all right? You're tainting them. All right.
Okay, we get a Disruptor, which was also part of that same lineup that Empire had earlier.
Yeah, that's
with,
right.
With the Sniper and the Monkey King and the Troll.
They used it really well to just shut down all the heroes in every
Yeah.
lane, basically. Yeah, Centaur's still in the game, I believe, but against Troll, I guess it could work. You still get a lot of return hits in. I don't know if that matters, though. Probably not. I'm not sold on the Jakiro yet. I feel like it's kind of out of nowhere. It does have Jakiro has really high base HP and high strength gain, but his armor's kind of low, so I feel like he's kind of weak against Monkey King Troll in some ways.
Have you seen the two on the end here? Nuts and Black are the two chatting, and then none of them have got headphones on, so it's literally these two.
Full trust. That's what you need.
Yeah.
In a
They're
win.
literally the
I
only tool.
I
Only
can
two.
see, I can see XY moving as well.
Is he?
Yep.
Okay.
See?
Yeah,
He's
no,
just
you're
trying
right
to
now.
sleight of
yeah,
hand it
yeah.
by
Yeah, he's trying to cover his mouth.
scratching my face.
Yeah, Daryl doesn't actually care.
He's
At
talking
all.
too. You're just completely shutting you down. Go ahead. Talk about Jabs any second here. He'll start talking.
Come on, Jabs.
Yeah, Jabs isn't talking.
Oh, just wait for it.
Come on.
Oh, that
He's a ventriloquist. He's definitely
Okay,
talking.
maybe it was just the angle that we caught out because, yeah, it was just the two on the end here that were just chatting away.
Well, you know, they got to talk about what that Jakiro is going to do in their draft. It's gonna be a difficult
That's
situation.
easy. That's easy, but they've already figured that out.
Okay.
Yeah, destroy the trees, push the towers.
Oh, Life Stealer. Here's a hero. All right. Win rate? Red Eye?
Win rate right now wasn't particularly good or bad.
Not that great.
No.
But
Really?
want to know why? Because Aggressive has played it, I think, every single game.
Right.
So, yeah.
And sometimes it hasn't worked.
Not worked.
Although he's seemingly literally a life stealer because he's stolen lives everywhere using that hero today.
Indeed.
Stayed alive more often than he should have done.
Oh, and it terribly, too. That's a pretty good
Wow.
answer to Life Stealer, though,
Yeah,
Kevin.
it's really good. It's pretty good against Monkey King as well. Pretty good against Troll Warlord. If you get blinded, it's a little bit tough, but as long as you're in your Metamorphosis and your range, then just so much physical damage, more than those two can deal with.
Are you surprised they banned the Ember rather than the Terrorblade?
I
I have a feeling they banned the TV last time.
No, Ember's way scarier if you're playing Troll because until
Okay.
you get like BKB, he just does whatever he wants with you because you can't guarantee bash him, right? So he can just initiate once you get a little lockdown by like a Nyx stun or an Ice Path or an Earth Spirit Boulder, you just go all in with your magic damage, you kill him. So Ember pretty much at almost all stages of the game is just always going to be stronger than Troll and can play around him. So I think
So
they're worried about getting kited and stuff.
Quick fact for you as well. I know that some of the games are still going on, so I haven't got all of the stats, but when I last checked the stats, which was about 35 minutes ago, it makes Jakiro the 78th hero picked or banned today.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad for day one, is it?
Hooray!
So Face is now banning out. God, my words are failing me. Legion Commander. Duel
Yes.
would obviously be really good against Terrorblade. The only solution they have right now is Disruptor ulti. So I think it's looking like a pretty good TB game at the moment. I like the pick. With backup from like Jakiro or Spirit Nyx, there's so many AoE stuns as well.
This is all very important, but did you just refer to your eyes as your wards? Because that's highly disturbing. I believe you did. I think you said my wards are failing me.
Words.
Kevin.
Words.
Oh, words. Oh,
Yeah.
thank
I
God.
think
I
it's
was
your
about to say,
your
you need to
ears.
go outside, my
Words
friend.
and
That's-
Yeah,
I
so
slur
his
a lot
wards
more
are
when it
failing him
gets
and
later.
your ears are failing you.
Yeah. I should have that. An audio ward.
What was
Think
that?
about it, Ice Frog.
What?
You put something on the map, then you can
Hey.
hear the enemy talking.
Yeah, what about all the blind people playing Dota 2? Gotta make Dota playable for them too, right?
You're
That
going
way
a
they
little
can
deep
hear
right now,
the
buddy.
wards, dude.
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
talking. They're
good.
like walking around the map.
Look, it's Venomancer. Here to save us. Venomancer, is that a new hero, right?
That's also one that hasn't been picked.
Got him.
yet.
Now, is this going to be the fabled mid Venomancer
That's
or
a core Veno.
the fabled jungle
It's-
Veno?
Unless it could be like Jakiro Veno cores, but it's more likely Nyx off lane. Might be Jakiro mid, honestly. It's definitely possible.
It is now.
Because Veno jungle is obviously very efficient, although I wouldn't want to do it with Monkey King in the game, so I guess it's probably Veno core. They'll just rush fast mech, maybe go something like Guardian Greaves, because if they just Gale Troll or even Lifestealer pre-BKB usage, then they're super slow.
Axe.
You like Axe?
Oh, he's back. Have we seen any axes either? This is another
yeah,
new
we
game.
have. No,
Ah,
no.
Quite a few, like
Yep.
3 at least.
disappointing, but still,
Yeah.
axe. Hype.
It's good against Terrorblade, that's why they picked it. Just pure damage to cut through
Mm-hmm.
his armor and chop him maybe. So
All right, very quickly before we head over to the commentators, Sir Action Flax, which draft do you like?
Always a fan of the Venomancer. I think
Okay,
it's
yeah,
a lot of
I
fun.
don't care.
But
So Kevin,
I like the Faceless one, but who knows? Maybe the Empire's been playing really well, so I think Empire has a higher chance to win the game, but I like the Faceless draft.
okay, all right, good. Thank you to both of our pundits. They obviously agree that Jakiro is the perfect pick in this one, and that Faceless are going to roll ahead. So let's head over to our commentary team to see what they agree with us about, because they definitely agree with us.
Thank you very much, Paul. Indeed, we always agree with the panel. You know, we like to keep our friendships good here at DAC. And this final series of the day, of course, that we're showing on this mainstream, Faceless versus Empire. It's set to be incredibly exciting because these are two teams that kind of coming into this, people would maybe say we're at a similar level. Maybe some people would put Faceless as the stronger side, but it's
Probably
close.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Empire's like the dark horse type
Yeah.
team, and that's where they're unpredictable. They've been in VP Shadow playing in the CIS region, but a lot to prove and a lot to play for. They won't be at the majors, so this is kind of like their majors. Much like NP, we saw them earlier today upset EG for one game because for teams like NP and Empire, this is the tournament where you go all out. You don't save
Absolutely.
any strats. You basically prepare everything you've got for this. for other teams, they're using this maybe as lead up for the major itself.
No, again, we should be just getting into the game, but the drafts, I mean, Jakiro, gods. We heard on the panel mixed opinions. Is he in a good place at the moment? Is there certainly...
He's decent, you know. Yeah, I think he's all right. He's like one of the few supports that pushes very well outside of like Shadow Shaman. I'd say like there's not many supports that actually push towers. You used to see teams like favor them, the pushing heroes back in like the 5-man deathball meta. It was like a lot of support Shadow Shamans, Shakiras, but they kind of fell out of favor for pushing carries and pushing mids. But now it seems like some teams are bringing back. Yeah, we've seen Shadow Shaman fail, but we'll see if Jakiro can do a bit better as that pushing support role.
It's going to be very, very interesting to see how Faceless can do with this lineup, especially seeing as they did give Empire some of these heroes that we've already seen them very scary performances from. Meposhka on that Monkey King. Earlier today, he caused absolute havoc against LFY. I mean, I'm not sure if Faceless would have got the chance to see those games, but they've got to be prepared for this, man. I feel he's the one you've got to be worried about, gods.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was just
What was he
watching
doing?
Monkey King. He was just bouncing around like
Monkey
3
King
heroes, avoiding. Like they were trying to follow him. They could kind of see him jumping around, and he manages to like weave his way through the entire dire jungle before getting back to his side of the river. Monkey King things, exactly.
Yes. I mean, the question is, as I was kind of saying before, is he going to go for that early courier snipe? We saw him attempt it in both games against LFY. The second game, quite humorously, he did sit around by the fountain as a tree, I believe he was.
I mean, he's
For
still
quite a
good.
lot
You
of
don't
time.
have to do it from minute 0. He looks like he's just going to block the mid lane to start off with, but then he could go bouncing around some trees, look for the courier if he wants to. But having seen that, perhaps we'll witness like a Earth Spirit courier. The courier for the Dire actually just tuck itself. It started to move out, and then like, wait a second, let's move it back to the fountain. He's not even, often you'll see this Dire courier like closer, like off the ledge, but you've got to keep it in the fountain for the invulnerability. So very aware of all the Monkey King tricks, Faceless, and just saying like, hey, our mid doesn't actually need this salve. Let's wait until we get eyes on the Monkey King, and sure enough, yeah, he's
making his
bouncing
way.
around the mid lane.
And is it going to be eyes on mid or eyes? Oh, it's going to be eyes on mid. He's positioning himself behind Jabs.
He's just going to go for the jump for
Yeah,
harass.
straight in. And Primal Spring will connect. And with that slow, Jabs in quite a bit of trouble. The Gale trying to hold back FN, and in fact, the Gale is enough there. Skilling it at level 1, keeping himself alive.
He needs that salve now. Luckily for him, Monkey King cannot jump onto trees while he's scaled up. Has to wait for that to wear off. But he's aware that courier might be coming
He's
out.
looking for it.
Yep.
But look at the route the courier's taking.
Yeah,
They're taking it round through their high ground area.
He's jumping across. He gets it by the tower knows he's there.
Yeah, they know. They're bringing that
he's
courier
chasing
right
it.
away from him. He's still looking
Oh,
for
no.
it, Meposhka, but
Yeah,
he
got it.
realizes now. Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, he's still trying for it.
No way.
Can he
No
really?
way.
Oh my
Are you
goodness, Monkey
kidding
King,
me?
boys and girls.
What?
Even when
taunts
you
his
know
way-
he's going for it.
This hero's mobility is just insane. They were fully aware from...
They knew it, and they were trying their best to do everything to move it away. I mean, you got to admit there was very little really that Faceless could do apparently to save that courier.
Yeah, I guess you just hide it in the trees on the east side of the map or something in hindsight. But yeah, realistically, like, they were trying to dodge. They were well aware of Monkey King and his movement. They had vision of him jumping across from the tower, hitting him. They saw him coming.
Yeah,
but
the pings were out. They knew he was there.
boy, oh boy.
Bottom lane, we are going to see a bit of an attempt from FL. Faceless going in onto King R. Ice next way. Do they have the damage? That's the question. They're trying to chase it down. Chappie slowing down the next assassin with the open wounds. So King R will be fine and is able to salve up.
King back to the mid lane. This mid
Jabs.
laner's not having the best time. Did get his salve out, but he's only managed to get 3 CS, and that's with bringing out a salve. Can't bring out any more items.
He's got to be careful as well. They can certainly dive this with the creep wave coming through and with the slows connecting again. The Gale, but this
The
time
haste.
FN has that, a haste rune, and that's going to be a first blood for the Troll in the mid lane. As you mentioned, CS was already going abysmally for that Veno, and they're 15 to 11 against 3 for 0, and a kill as well under FN's belt.
I mean, a fortunate haste rune, but it's also the way they play around it. They're like, okay, I've got a haste rune, let's make sure we get this kill. If he doesn't get a haste rune, perhaps Monkey King doesn't come back mid, but with the rune, sure as hell he's going for it.
Bottom lane going on to Ice. They've got the glimpse back. Chappie, one more touch, they'll take it. They'll get the kill. XY tried to come in to disrupt the play from Empire.
Mid lane again, Jab's getting very low. Doesn't go down this time. Haste rune has luckily worn off, but will have to shrine up and has no CS to show for it. He just TP'd in, has to immediately shrine without getting any last hits, and he's itemless. He's holding on to just a Wraith Band. He's poorer than when he started the game, effectively.
I mean, what do you do if you're this Veno? I mean, I guess you just have to keep looking towards it. You can't go jungle, really, because the Monkey King's going to come hunting for you.
You start leveling up your wards, probably, and just... perhaps he was... Oh, no, he's going to go for the Gale. So I was about to say, you normally want to go for, like, a Gale build here, but with how bad of a start, he may reconsider and go for the ward build. But it looks like he is going to stick it out, commit to the Gale build, at least for at this stage early on. There's a lot of kill and harass potential in a hero like Troll, who isn't the longest ranged hero to be playing in the mid lane, but does still need that buddy in the Earth Spirit to help set those up.
I mean, of course, the good news really at the moment for Faceless is the fact that up top, Terrorblade, he's getting the free farm. You know, Black, he's having a fantastic time. And as the panel said, Terrorblade, it can be a very strong hero this game, can't it, against the lineup that Empire have. It has its strengths.
Yeah. It's good news, but it's also tied to, like, not the best news in that Ghost Stick on the Axe is actually farming fine. He's got 14 last hits. He's level 3.5. They haven't zoned him whatsoever, so I feel like this offlane for the Axe is going just fine. He's not expected to really pressure the TB's farm against the dual lane. What he is hoping to do is get that farm in XP, and he's done just that, so not really feeling like this offlane is a win for... Well, the Faceless safe lane is necessarily a win currently.
And of course, that final pick from Empire, picking up the Axe, definitely one of the strengths they have in return against that TB. Those pure damage spins. Only something that could be an issue if Axe does get that good start. And as you mentioned, he is certainly getting something here in this top lane. And Miposhka also heading over as well, maybe seeing if they can pick a fight if Faceless come in to try and contest Ghost Stick here around this creep camp. But it doesn't look like it's the case. Well, I didn't see us say that. Miposhka still needs to jump over a fair bit to come over, and he is making his way. He is going to look to try and do something as he goes straight in with the stun onto XY. Isn't going to jump down, though, but they've got the vision on him. Finally comes out as he uses it to escape. Primal Spring down to the river. And Faces get the kill. They will be able to punish the Axe.
With the stun on the Earth Spirit, perhaps Monkey King could have stunned TB just to stop some of his damage output, but likely would have been enough for a kill regardless. But yeah, good use of the Metamorph. It really felt like Axe was getting too much out of that lane. They needed to use a Metamorph. You can't just sit in the safe lane farming as a TB. You want to use that Metamorphosis either to get a kill, pressure tower. It's a cooldown that's very long, but if you're not using it, it's kind of just why do you have the TB there in the safe lane? He's not just there looking to farm and play for the late game. You want to take objectives early on typically when you're playing that. And at this stage, killing an offlane Axe is at least a small objective in itself. So we'll push Ghost Stick slightly back into the jungle.
Well, top lane Miposhka once again keeping eyes onto the TB. FN into the jungle, keeping his farm incredibly high. It's giving the chance for Veno to catch up a little bit, but still Jabs is certainly suffering in the CS department.
Yep. Another initiation up top, a jump in from Monkey King. There is an early point in Sunder, though. They may not be expecting this, since it is maybe slightly atypical to get.
I mean, yeah, Ghost is going for it, and with the glimpse back, Black should have the chance to Sunder nicely. He's going to look towards King Iron. There it has coming out. They do have the follow through call, but FL, they seem to have the numbers. In comes XY. Black falling incredibly low. Can Ghost Stick finish it off? He needs a spin, really. I didn't. They will actually get it with the Battle Hunger. So they take down the Axe in return, but they lose Black for it. Faceless, they'll need to try and find something more. They're looking for Miposhka. Head forward with the roll, and Faceless will clear up a second. But it does, of course, cost them Black's life.
Yeah, ultimately, I feel Empire are okay with that exchange. It's still a free farming Troll in the mid lane. Life's still a free farming more or less in the safe lane. Really like how FN is just so efficient with his mid lane. When he gets a regen rune, he goes to farm the Ancients. Normally, you wouldn't want to farm the Ancients early on as a Troll because you take too much damage and then you can't stay in the lane. Gank at bottom.
Might not find it.
Gonna wait for the
with the Carapace in the south, they'll look to dive across. Great stun from Size to hold back the two of them. But Miposhka, he's still on the hunt for this. Chappie goes for the straight TP out. Miposhka hiding in the tree line. They're seeing if they can find him. They didn't have the stun there to cancel that TP. Miposhka looks like he'll be A-OK, but oh no, the poison ended up getting Chappie.
God, this Monkey King is incredibly low as well.
And his TP's on cooldown. But he can hop around trees for days. He's good. There's no way they find him unless he jumps across an open spot. And yeah, being nighttime as well. And like they did see him fly across that bit.
But doesn't look like Ice is gonna throw any random impales or anything. Not sure if they know his hit points right now. Another rune for FN. He gets an invis this time. But yeah, I was going to point out, like, getting a regen early on, farming the Ancients while you regen up. Very efficient play coming out from him earlier. Just trying to maximize his overall farm advantage over the TB. He's a good 1,000 net worth ahead. Part of that due to the death on TB, of course, but even without that, he was leading the way. As early phase and almost a completed Yasha now.
Absolutely. And I think kind of going on that Ancients topic, just about having a hero that allows you to do that early on is pretty huge, because whereas kind of lane creatures and such get nerfed, Ancients, there's still a massive bit of income if you can take them down early. And 8.5 minutes in, and we've already seen him take down at least 2 stacks, or two sets of Ancients. Top lane, Ghostic in trouble. Ice comes in with a rotation, and Black's there to help him seal the deal, and that will now allow Faceless to try and get a bit of pressure down onto this tier 1 top. Nuts is going to come through as well to help with the push. And Empire interested elsewhere. They've got eyes on the mid lane. They're seeing if they can try and kick something off as they close the gap on towards Jabs. He will pop the ultimate out. Has XY coming in as well with the boulder smash. Indeed, FN is falling low. They will find Jabs, but they'll lose FM for it with immediate TP out.
Yeah, he would have died if not. It's a level 4 Gale with a Poison Nova. Can kill most heroes with that at this stage of the game, so you can be very respectful of that Venomancer damage output. But yeah, Black TP's in, so I think he could turn it around. And they did get the troll, but he looked like he was going to be gone anyways. But he can get some tower damage. I like that they were pairing the Nyx with the TB up top, because I feel like Nyx is the perfect hero to find a pick off, and then TB's the perfect hero to follow pick off with a tower and objective. But Black kind of TPing in the mid lane prevented them getting the top tower, and I think they need to, whenever they've got Metamorphosis, send the TB to where the Nyx is, or vice versa, send Nyx to where the TB is to find a kill, and use these 2 heroes together to force objectives.
10 minutes in, 6-4. FN in the lead with farm. Still top 3. Black is up there, but it's still kind of the difference. You know, it's this Venomancer that Jabs really needs to catch up on.
Yeah, he's not going to necessarily farm all that fast with the build of his. Can't just hold the wave with the Venom wards, but top ISSI sitting on top of a sentry here. They know exactly where he is. It's a bit of a bait.
They're going to try and make a go onto him. They do have the call. Nuts is there, looking to help him out with the ice path. Catches out 2 of them. Black coming with the rotation as well, but the dunk down's there. They've lost Ice. But in return, they do take down Miposhka. And of course, Empire getting the favorable trade down as they do bring down a core.
Yep. Baited though. Probably to have 0 casualties there, since they had all the vision advantage, seeing the Nyx with the sentry, but ultimately it's still a decent trade for them. Monkey TPs in mid, gets immediately Gale. This is a bit of a tough spot for him to be in, but has backup.
In here, and immediately with the stun from the Monkey King into the bashes from FN, they'll get Jabs down. No extra chance to do anything in retaliation.
God, that Gale, he's gonna kills him with an illusion. Jabs actually gets the kill. I think that's why he went so aggressive, knowing that that level 4 Gale was going to get him a kill, but didn't respect the rotation potential of the troll, and does get the tower. Even though it's denied, it's still an early objective going the way of Faceless. Opens up the map a bit more, having taken out that tier 1 mid, but still not quite the outcome. If Veno gets the kill there, gets a tower and doesn't die, it's a very different state. He would be up near like 4k net worth and be in a much more kind of respectable position in terms of his farm.
Ice with the hunt down onto FN. I mean, on his own, he's not going to quite have the burst.
No spirits down at bottom lane, so I guess TB theoretically rotates in.
Yeah, Black can get in range. Okay. They can if FN goes for this wave.
There's a sentry there, so they know
straight up.
Really good proactive sentry ward usage from both King R as well as Miposhka. Both supports have always been kind of holding on to these, making sure that their cores are protected at top, at mid. Pairing up the sentry with the observer ward, like around that Radiant Shrine as well, is one of the great things you can do. So you see the Nyx rotating into your jungle. Bottom lane, there's going to be a Magnetize.
Straight in, straight up onto Miposhka. As that will allow them to get a bit of pressure onto this bottom lane. Faceless with their full 5-man down here at the moment. At the same time, you've got Empire looking to put pressure up onto the top. So look for a tier 1 for tier 1 trade. Hacks now with the Blink Dagger complete, so Empire a little bit better kitted for fights. With the Armlet, Blightstone on Chappie, and the Axe Lifestealer Bomb could certainly cause issues for some of FL's backliners.
Yeah, Empire's definitely doing better in terms of items, but I feel like TB as a hero matches up very well still at this stage. Like if he's got Metamorphosis up and can kite around against the Lifestealer Troll, do feel like Faceless can still match up pretty well in a team fight based on TB's positioning. He's got the Dragonlance Yasha as well, so we'll see how that works.
Nice size with the setup, hunts down the monkey.
That's 0-5. He's dying a lot this game. Do you feel like a lot of them have been acceptable deaths or deaths to his team's benefit?
I see Empire trying to fight back into this. You'll look at Chappie going straight onto Ice. He tries the TP out, but the glimpse is there. They'll lose the Nyx and maybe even more. XY goes for the roll, TP out. Can they get it raised to cancel it? Ooh, Ghost, it couldn't quite get there in time with the blink call.
Very close indeed.
We'll get out. And meanwhile, Nuts doing a fair bit of damage to this bottom lane. The strength for Jakiro. That tier 2 is already down to half health. And he'll go for the TP out. And again, he makes it. Ghostic just couldn't get the call in time as he looked for him in the tree line. So Jakiro getting away with a lot of effective damage there. The pings come out, and they're like, my goodness.
Yeah.
Look what I did, boys. Nearly took a tier 2 down on his own.
He's drawing lines like, I'm going straight down that bottom lane again. Come with me if you want, team. But I mean, it's perfectly fine to have your 5-position hero, like, split pushing the alt lane is like a great thing to have your 5-position hero able to do at this stage because it's the most dangerous place on the map to be. That tier 2 bottom tower is where you do not want your carry or your mid to be because they're just going to get ganked. Your opposing team sees that and they're like, sweet, free kill in the core hero. They see a Jakiro, they're like, is it really worth ganking Jakiro? No, let's go fight. Let's go kill this Veno again, or let's go deal with this Nyx assassin in mid lane. You're never going to really address a Jakiro, but then suddenly it's like, oh wait, we've just lost a ton of HP on our tier 2 tower. We've got to address it.
We're looking for jabs there. Maybe Ghostic could have got the vision with that blink. They could have got the glimpse back. At the least, jabs forced away. Faceless positioning themselves around the tier 2 in the bottom. Smoked up with that movement that they came into the jungle for. Didn't find Chappie, who already moved off to the side of the jungle and now grouped up with the rest. They'll scan it out, though. Faceless, they know that Empire are making the move across to them. Are they prepared to fight, though? That's the question. They don't have jabs. Jabs has the ultimate, but he's just not in the neighborhood. Ice, looking for the vision as he sets up, looking towards Ghostic, but immediately the blink onto Nuts is there. Chappie comes out, looking to find the Jakiro. The Static Storm will trap down the TB. Can they finish off Black before he gets a chance to Sunder? No, they can't. Black comes out, gets the Sunder off, turns towards FN. The Magnetize comes in, and there's the ultimate. Ice with the 2-man stun, and they've got to find one more to find the team wipe there. Faceless pulling it off. The Static Storm was big, but they just couldn't kill Black quick enough. He was able to get that Sunder, and indeed, as you mentioned, jabs turning up just in time to offer that finishing blow.
Nyx hitting multiple hero stuns as well. That was quite the I mean, both sides played that team fight very well. If they killed the TB pre-Sunder, Empire come out. They're trading like 5 for 2 or 5 for 3 there, so it was very close to going Empire's way. If they just had a bit more damage onto the TB, would be a bit better. But that's why you pick TB against Lifestealer, because this right-click Lifestealer does not do a lot. We'll see again here. Initially, a really good silence stopped the call coming out from the axe on the Jakiro, and then that's the Static Storm. Just barely not enough. He had the full wand.
So close.
Oh, that Boulder Smash. I think without that Boulder Smash, then he may have been like culled or something before he got the Sunder off too. Really nice from XY.
Yeah, I think, XY, and as you mentioned, Ice, just the control that those two were offering with those multiple AoE stuns.
That puts Faceless well and truly back in this game. I mean, they were ahead on kills even before that fight, but they were struggling in net worth.
And we see the swing there.
Yeah, a big swing going their way.
On top lane, Ghostic finding an opening onto the Jakiro. And here comes the Monkey Man. Jumps in. And should certainly be a kill. Well, Nuts is trying to make the work for it. But with Chappie there as well. No hope for the Dragon.
And I think there's good reason why the panel really liked the TB pick, and we've seen it so far. If you can survive that the Static Storm's really all they've got. The Axe helps a little bit as well, but he went on a different target. He also got immediately silenced, so when you're playing these very heavy physical damage cores like Troll and Lifesteal against TB, you've got to make sure your supporting cast can lock him down, because TB is amazing against heavy physical damage heroes.
Yeah, looking towards the TB here. Ghostic is going to jump in, gets the call. Backups coming from Faceless. Can they keep Black alive long enough with the Manta and the Sunder? Once again, Black survives, turns towards Chappie. They brought down the Axe as well. The Ice Path comes through just in time from Nuts, and once again, Faceless punishing Empire as Empire desperately try and kill Black, but they just don't seem to have the lockdown to do it. This Manta, Dragon Lance, he had such a great time in lane. Oh, yeah. He's now sailing ahead. This Terrorblade, the panel said it would be an issue, and we're seeing exactly that, Gods.
Yeah, there's a couple issues there that the Earth Spirit's in a good position behind him, so Axe can't get the dunk off because he gets silenced. Like, TB gets probably low enough for the dunk. It was kind of borderline. Perhaps he wasn't low enough anyways to begin with, but even if he was, he doesn't get to get it off because Earth Spirit's there, silence into stun. Again, we see it. And Lifestealer, he's lacking the Deso. If he's had the Deso in either the previous fight or that fight, either time, that's enough damage output to bring down the TB.
Look how close they get again. It's got to be frustrating for Empire, but as you mentioned, just
stun.
XY, buying the time for Black to turn it round.
Looks like he had probably just enough HP even without the silent stun to get the Manta into Sunder, but either way, it's still a really heads-up play from the Earth Spirit to make sure he keeps his buddy alive.
Talking about the Earth Spirit, a lot of hate going his way as Empire surround him, drop down the Static Storm, and cut off his head.
He's got Blink Dagger. That's a very farmed Earth Spirit. He's more farmed than his Nyx. ISSI is probably like, dude, what's going on here? He has got his Midas now on Nyx, so we'll be power farming a little bit moving forward, but it's been a fantastic game from XY. He's definitely improved a ton on this hero. I remember the first few times I saw him playing it like 6-8 months ago, and I was just like, XY Earth Spirit, definitely nowhere near some of like the top tier Earth Spirit players, but he has definitely improved on the hero. He's become probably one of his best heroes, and we're seeing it here for Faceless.
Definitely a hero that's a very strong asset to have on your sleeve if you've got a player that can perform on it. And absolutely, we're seeing Faceless show us exactly that. Black has the money for the first Ultimate Orb as he's looking to work towards that Scardian. I mean, once he does have that, he's just going to be so tanky. And the damage is going to be questionable if it's there. And Chappie in trouble. XY with the setup, the follow-through Ice Path. And Chappie, he's in and out of the creep. Can he get away with the armlet toggling? That's the question. He's going to try for it here. And, goes for the raised TP. And is he going to make it? No, the damage from Black is too much with the Metamorphosis. And Faceless will find the kill.
I didn't jinx XY. Normally I talk over a player and then they go and do something dumb, but he hits the perfect roll, silence mid-roll, hits the stun afterwards, and then the Ice Path. That was some great chain stun. Very well-coordinated gank.
Hello. Goodbye.
Yep. Another kill. That's the 8th death for the Monkey King. I feel like the Monkey King can see its merits. I don't feel like it was a bad pick, but it's definitely Faceless playing well against the hero. They're always punishing it whenever it's like showing itself on the map.
Yep.
And that's a lot of kills, and a big reason why Faceless are doing so well in this game is all the pickoffs they've found on Monkey King.
And you do have to give them respect for that, because we've seen how good mid posture can perform on Monkey King. It's not like it's a hero that it's like, oh, he's playing Monkey King. Oh, he's not too good. He had a great series early on, the hero.
I feel like he's even played well this game. That's really where I give like a lot of credit to Faces. They've managed to do this against a well-played Monkey King. Like, he found the courier, he baited the Nyx at top underneath the sentry. He's done a lot of really nice moves, but similarly, Faceless have also baited him out, much like he's done to them, with the Earth Spirit sitting behind a core hero on a few different occasions. Black is getting to that point where he is going to he's just too many items ahead of the Lifestealer. Lifestealer now has the Deso. I was talking about how this was a crucial item to have for those 2 failed ganks on the TB, the one at bottom where he barely got the Sunder off, and then at top at the tier 2 tower, he just got the Sunder off. Either of those times he has a Deso, you get the kill, but now he's got the Deso. I'm still feeling like he's still an iron behind. TB's about to have a Scardy. He doesn't quite have it.
I like this, though. If are they not going to do it?
Bit risky, maybe.
Yeah, I guess with the ward, they can't do it really with the Venom Ward. Because they'll know immediately, and the team fight Faces very good around the pit.
If there was no Venom Ward, they may have.
They would have done it, I'm sure. Here we go, jump in, they'll look for the easy kill, and we'll rip apart that Jakiro.
Not the kill they wanted, but you take what you find. Like, you can't be, beggars can't be choosers there. The hero you find is the hero you take. You can't just ignore him and try run past and hope someone else is there. You've got to go.
Can they go roast with the Jakiro now? They're looking towards it.
I mean, they can, but whether or not it'll succeed, it's probably I'd be fairly uncertain about that.
Oh, not again, Maposhka. He's been found out by Ice Jab, but the blink call from Ghostic. They need more follow-up. Great 3-man stun. King R with the Static Storm onto 2 Chappie. Looking to work towards the easiest target. Goes for jab. Squishy on the Venomancer. Turns towards Ice. Takes down a second. Empire this time with the superior team fight for the moment. FL are looking to turn it. They've got the slow onto Ghostic. XY moving in as well with the dual breath out. Jakiro picks up another.
This AoE team fight damage is just insane. I'd love to see like a Veil or something on this Dire side. They've got so much magic damage flying around. Jakiro, Earth Spirit, Nyx, Veno. Everyone outside the TB is dishing out. I mean, it's not just TB doing damage in these fights, it's the entire supporting cast as well. But it's still a good fight for Empire in the end, as they do get 2 heroes, 2 core heroes at that, just for the axe. But that did come off a great Static Storm. King R's been very good this game. It was a bit unlucky that they didn't kill the TB at bottom. I feel like he's had good Static Storms throughout this game. Just his team has somewhat lacked the damage to finish off some of those heroes that he has caught in the Static Storm kinetic field. So see if that's going to change now. Troll gets the BKB so he can man up and fight a little bit better in some of these engagements. The Desolator, as mentioned, completed. So damage items starting to come together for the Empire side.
And as we see, King Art, man at the moment, in terms of the plays he's been performing on the Disruptor, He's going to be looking towards that Aghanim since his first major item this game.
And TV Scotty just a few hundred gold away. That's where he kind of, wouldn't say he's totally unkillable. Definitely if you throw a Blink Call, Static Storm, Troll and Lifesteal both hitting him, he will die. But the Scotty means you've got to throw everything on him now. In the past, you were hoping like, okay, let's hope we can Axe Call like with an Infest Bomb and a Static Storm. Now you need the Troll as well, I feel. Like you need every little bit of damage possible to make sure you kill the TV. Another quick kill. Finding pickoffs. Empire slowly pulling this game back together, and that does set them up to go into the Roshan pit. Still a possibility for Faceless to try and contest this, but it's a risky one. They're missing kind of their key initiator and one of their key control heroes.
It's going down so quickly between the two of them here. Is there a chance for Face? It doesn't look like it. With Roshan falling, Empire, they'll claim it. Aegis onto FN.
The vision was not to their favor, and they just got there too late if they were thinking of contesting it, so... Aegis on FN, he's well and truly the main... I mean, he kind of has been in all of Empire's games, and I feel like this is the way Empire set up their team to work, is typically FN's playing the more farm-intensive core. We even saw it when he was playing at Magnus. The time where it doesn't maybe hold true is when they pick up Meepo, which is Chappie's hero. That's where we see a more kind of two position in terms of farm priority for FN, but more often than not, FN's playing like the carry from the mid-roll type role.
And where does he go with his build from here, really? He's kind of built himself up. He's okay, now we go, there's the answer.
Yeah, so he doesn't get kited as bad.
Yeah.
Chase hero is a bit better. Decent damage. I mean, it's very cheap, cost-effective agi for the hero. It doesn't necessarily be not necessarily amazing against the TB by any means, but helps across the board. And a bit more cheaper, easier to obtain item than something big like a butterfly, for example, that you might want against a TB.
Oh, that felt smoked up. Ice looking for the lead in, finds FN, but no, misses the stun, and now the chance is there for Empire to turn around. Look towards Ice. They drop the Static Storm, looking to secure that Nexus. Secure. They do get it, but and the backlines. XY coming in with the magnetized jabs with the ultimate. They've found Disruptor. BKB's popped by FN. He's trying to look to move in for more. They'll get the call onto the Venom. They'll take a second Empire, and they're not done yet. Chappie just waltzing through the ice path under the cover of Rage, looking for Black, but then they kind of realize they just don't have the damage to bring down this TB with this Skadi. He's looking to back off. The ult will be dropped by Imposture, and that will cause TB to hold back a little bit. Black doesn't want to walk forward into that, but we saw there, you know, that they tried to make a beeline for him, but it's just so hard to kill this Terrorblade with the items that Black's got 25 minutes into this game.
Yeah, but they've definitely adapted. I feel like the earlier fights, they were overcommitting on the TB and getting punished. Now it's turned into, let's just kind of ignore the TB. Let's kill these other heroes. Veno, Nyx. If we get a stun on the Nyx, he just dies. We've seen, I mean, that time Nyx missed a stun, so he made it even easier, but even when Nyx is landing stuns, if you just jump on him with the Axe Call, he is going to go down to a Lifestealer Rage. That's why they picked the Lifestealers, because it is one of the better counter picks against the Nyx Assassin. So I feel like Empire have done a good job adapting throughout this game, and they've learned this TB is a problem, but he becomes less of a problem if you don't fight into him and you just fight into the rest of his team. Kill one of his teammates and then run the hell away from that Skadi, which is slowing you down and kiting you around. And the damage output from TB is not at that point where he's instantly killing front lines. Like Axe has the call up, Troll has a lot of armor, Lifesteal is soon going to have an AC and it already has like the armored armor. So there's enough armor on the front line carries that the TB isn't instantly melting them.
See Empire getting ready to make a go in the mid lane. FN on the front lines, backed up by King R. And I've also, of course, at the moment, I've got Lifestealer sitting inside the Monkey King.
Oh, he's inside
the
Axe,
Axe, sorry. Yeah, Ghosty.
Look for the
the
pick at top, but Jakiro TP'd out. He's going for a full wraparound and very likely to succeed with this one if he wants to commit to it.
Could be deep. I've got the vision here with the Monkey King jumping across. They'll look for nuts, but immediately the Yules is there. Chappie comes out with the Rage, with the stun from the MK. They'll take down the Jakiro.
It's a great reaction from Jakiro, but even so, just start. You can stop the Axe, you can't stop the Lifesteal. That's why it was such a great pick against this lineup. And Nyx is just resorting to some split push down bottom. Gonna go for a secondary Yule Scepter. At this point, you just want to be able to kite as much as possible. So Yules, 4 staffs, these kind of items are going to be very handy this game. A third Yules on the Earth Spirit, triple Yules coming out.
I mean, it's just so good against what kind of the Axe initiation.
Yeah, you throw him up. Even if he gets the call off, you just want to throw him up so he's not killing your TB with the Blade Mail. The idea is you just Yules the Axe during this call, so if there's no hero to hit, you're not taking Blade Mail damage. Similarly, it's good chasing, disruptive item for a team fight. You just throw the Lifesteal up in the air when he's not raid. Same for the Troll, although both heroes do have magic immunity. You can also throw yourself up. If you're a Nyx, you use yourself, and then it can set up your blink to escape. So it's a nice defensive tool as well. So things will settle down. It does feel like Empire have managed to claw their way back in, stabilize the game a bit, and find better ways to take these team fights. And they're just working on some of their own farm and progression. The Basher on the Monkey King, that's kind of where he hits his peak.
He's very close to it as well, isn't he?
Yeah,
just 100.
Just got 100 away. It's the only item you really need as a Monkey King to be very scary in a team fight with that Wukong's command. Seeing it more and more, it's just Basher, and then your items is done. Like at that point, it's like doesn't really matter what else you get.
Smoke Up's going to come through from Faceless, ready to try and see if they can get another
pick off. They know the Aegis
pick
is about to expire. That's why they're timing this smoke now. They'll find perhaps FN here. About 10 seconds left on that Aegis.
Who is going to be the one to take the brunt of this attack? Ghostic, the closest in the neighborhood at the moment. He's in the tree line immediately, though, with a quick reaction. Blinks out, but the follow-through's there. Ice with the stun, but FN's turned up with the BKB. Looks towards the Nyx Assassin. Black with the Skadi, though, forcing FN to back off. And that will cause Empire to retreat. BKB charge used. Not finding anything, but at the same time, you can see it as Faceless going for a smoke. They don't get the kill.
But they're still going to push.
Yeah, they get in position for a tier 3 push potentially.
That's how strong they feel they are now that the Aegis is up, is that even without a kill, they're like, well, let's still chip. We've got Metamorphosis going. They can protect the TB with 4 staffs with Yule Scepters. Axe is ready to call, but he doesn't really want to go on the TB. He'd rather find a different target. Black, though, is still very careful with his positioning, only sieging with illusions at this point. Good thing is with the illusion sieges, the Venom Wards give vision of the high ground, so they can always be attacking.
As we can see, just bringing it down to half already. Ghostic tries the initiation. This is the call.
Gets caught. Venno very good against those axe initiations when you can drop those wards, scout him out, cancel his blink very often. Once he's been hit by a bit of poison damage, it will keep cancelling his blink over and over again. But as it stands, it looks like Faceless will back off with Metamorphosis expiring. It was like, do what damage we can just with Illusion slow sieging. If they got the tier 3 tower, it opens up the shrines, but they didn't quite have the duration of it, and they're also about to pick up a big item. He gets a butterfly now. This TV is monstrous.
I mean, FN is he's going for the MKB in response, of course, and he's nearly halfway there. So
it's one of those items which, yeah, it's good against it's the counter to the butterfly, but you still just have that straight up problem. Like it doesn't counter the TB counters these heroes. So no matter what items FN gets or Chappie gets on the Lifestealer, like TB just is a natural counter to those 2 carry heroes. So you can counter his he's not getting the butterfly necessarily. Like, I mean, yeah, it's evasion against the right-click damage, but more so than anything, it's damage for his illusions. It's just great mobility, great farming power. This is Black getting this item more for the damage output than the survivability. He's not worried about staying alive when his team have like triple 4-staffs and triple Yule Scepters and double 4-staffs coming. Everyone on the Faceless side is going kiting items, and then Black has the carry.
Bottom lane, they're looking for the bait here. Chappie in. Ghostic, does he want to try and commit for this? He's eyeing it up. Chappie trying to finish off this air spray, bring the XY down low, and there's the dunk from Ghost. He gets the kill secure. Chappie into the creep. And he knows that his own creeps are bringing it down too low. They can get the deny, and they'll look towards Chappie. Faceless will find the lifesteal in return. And they may get more. Ice. Blink in 8 seconds. Actually just goes for their blind stun into the tree line. Thinks that the Axe may have gone for a bit of a hiding escape. It's not going to be the case, but again, I mean, just getting 1 kill, enabling Faceless to get this push once again put together.
Yeah, and TB has a butterfly for this push. He's got Metamorphosis back up. He didn't have to use it for that kill. Lifesteal without a buyback. Theoretically, Faceless may prioritize his tier 3 mid if they want to, like, swoop on through, but they're actually going to back off, which I'm a bit surprised by, but perhaps respecting the potential for a Lifestealer buyback. As it stands, they will not commit to any kind of a push here. A few items still back at base that they haven't got, like the Yule Scepter on the Nyx, a couple of the Jakiro 4-star. Actually, yeah, opts to go for a blink instead, it looks like. Kind of changes his mind a bit. But yeah, Black is just going to continue to get scary and scary. And he's probably just like telling his team, like, dude, my hero is so good against their lineup, like, we don't have to rush and end this game. As much as it would be nice to take out that tier 3 tower so you can deal with shrines, and that sets you up to just secure the next Roshan if your opponents don't have that access to shrines. I imagine Faceless feel pretty comfortable right now, assuming they don't let another Rosh go by uncontested. But that's exactly what Empire have their eyes set on. They want to find a pick into Rosh or possibly go straight Rosh, but considering Lifesteal's infested, I want to say they're going for a pick off here.
I see what Ghosty can do. Has the blink, BKB complete as well. They've got the vision onto Black. Now I'm going to look to try and jump in with the static storm onto well. Can they kill him in time? And this time they do have the damage. He's down. 70 seconds and Black's out.
He's got a buyback too. He bought the full Hurricane Pike.
big, big kill for Empire. The one that they've pretty much been looking for this entire game, and they do get it.
That's the Roche. That's a bit unfortunate for Black. Like, he had the ward there protecting him. He also probably knows there's no Radiant wards because his teammates have a gem. So XY's been in that area clearing out vision. So there was no Radiant wards. He had a ward there to protect himself. He doesn't really do anything wrong. It's just the fact that Monkey King gives the flying vision on the trees, which he just didn't respect. But that's such like a hard play to read coming your way. So I don't really feel like Black does anything wrong there. It's just a good game from Team Empire, and they're rewarded with an Aegis. The Empire have just made these clutch plays. Like, the few key pickoffs they've got this game, they're behind 19 to 23, but the times they've gotten kills, it's secured them Roshan. It's gotten them really big objectives that have kind of kept this game alive for them, because I do feel like draft-wise, they'd be struggling. Well, they have been struggling. They are struggling, and it would be a whole lot worse if they hadn't been able to secure these Aegises for themselves.
An Empire in position to look to take this tier 2 from the top lane. They are going to have Black back up, but again, you know, Faceless, they can certainly push, but so can Empire with the Troll and Lifestealer combination. They'll be able to rip through that tier 2 in no time, and maybe even turn towards the mid for more. The creep wave starting to move along. Ghost Stick is positioning himself, seeing if there's any chance for a jump in. MKB is now complete and fully picked up by FN.
Yeah.
And DD Rune has there waiting for him as well. So DD, MKB, it's a scary old troll, especially with that Aegis in his hands. It's something that Faceless is almost certainly going to want to avoid for at least this next minute.
Yeah, not sure if it guarantees any kind of a high ground push. It's very difficult just to go push high ground when Faceless can just use the ranged metamorphosis, the Venom wards, the kiting capabilities. When they have high ground vision, that's when they're at their strongest. So realistically, Empire can't necessarily barrel down a lane with this. They can force it out of towers, like a tier 2 tower at mid, but I mean, Faceless are fighting into Aegis. That's how much they recognize their lineup strengths. They're happy to fight into this.
They're getting a good deep wraparound as well here, Faceless. They've come right around the map, and they'll get from the back lines a beautiful stun onto 2, but Ghost Stick's there with the response, comes in with a call, nicks is out, and so's the Earthspring. They're not done yet. They turn towards Black. Wukong's command, bashing him up from the sidelines. He will get the Sundra off, bringing Ghost Stick down low. They've lost the Monkey King. The ult from Venom doing a lot of work here, but FN closes it on onto Black. Black kites it out as he slides himself to the sidelines, will bring down the Troll once, turns towards Lifestealer, brings down Chappie, and now the Troll is in trouble as well. Jabs comes in for a cheeky gale. Black brings him down with a metamorphosis damage, and Faceless bring themselves back on top with an incredibly confident team fight. The wraparound work. It looked like a great attempt again from Ghost Stick to get stuck in with the call, but every time that Black gets the chance to sunder, it certainly just goes to pot for Empire. They can kill him once, they can't kill him twice.
Yeah, I actually thought he was going to die there because I thought his force stuff was going to be a cooldown, but the first force wasn't even his own. He still had his own Hurricane Pike up after getting pushed out of the Wukong's command. It was just great kiting coming out from the Faceless team. They let Nyx goes down after getting for 2 Hero Impale. His job was already done at that point. And Troll's Aegis doesn't really get him any value there, because by the time he respawns, he's kind of alone against the metamorphosis of TV.
I was looking for a glimpse. He's trying to get Black, and he will get him, brings him back into the Static Storm. The jump forward from FN. Can they bring him down? No, Black, he's out of it. He's gone. XY will be taken down. But at the same time, Faceless, they're looking to move in for more, but Ghost Stick's in there with the call. Can they bring down Black? He's falling incredibly low, but again, the Sunder keeping himself fine. Not the biggest of Sunders, but every little bit of health counts. And Black will be able to back off away. FN and Ghost Stick, they really want to try and chase for something. They'll find Nuts on the sidelines. The Ice Path's out though in time. FN in a lot of trouble. BKB's still on cooldown, and FN's out, and he does not have buyback there. He's gone. Ghost Stick in trouble as well. Chappie trying to do his best with Mapushka to bring this one back, but now with Ghost Stick down, buying back immediately, it's falling apart for Empire. They do not have this Troll Warlord for a hell of a long time.
Yeah, it's looking like this could be the end. The Metamorphosis will be coming up in about 15 seconds time, and they've got another pick.
Yeah, they've found King R here with the Ice Path. Being a little tentative about how they go for it. They know that Ghost Stick could be looking for a call. King R just goes for a TP straight out in front of them. It isn't going to work with Ice Ice in the neighborhood. Blinks forward, gets the stun. A second hero down. 20 seconds. Shiva's guard has been complete from Jab, so everything really coming together for Faceless to go for this high ground. Full on siege. They cleared out the mid lane. They certainly want to do something about bottom as they pose. And maybe realizing as well that this Troll is just not going to be bringing himself back in. Still down for 50. Hasn't used it yet. Faceless are going to know they're in this fantastic position to get as much done as they can.
They can't kill Black without the Troll. That to me is perhaps in a Wukong's command, but even that doesn't.
They're going to try to get it up, but I think Manta Style dodged the call there. Black gets himself out of it, and immediately Empire just sent packing. The 3-man boulder smash comes through from XY, and it's all over. GG, Empire tap out. They just can't compete at that stage of the game with the power that Black has, especially with Troll down and gone, already DCing out of the game. He's had enough. Faceless there, game 1. Looking convincing and with a very exciting draft as well. We kind of question, bringing Jakiro in, bringing the Venom in, heroes that we're yet to see here at DAC, and they make it work, gods. Against the Monkey King as well, a hero that's kind of been running away with games.
Oh, I feel like the Monkey King was definitely maybe the shining point of their draft, because that was the hero that found them the key pickoffs that got them a couple Roches, put them in a position where they could almost win the game. Empire were playing, I feel like, from a drafting deficit, but they used what tools they had, namely the Monkey King with his flying vision to find some key kills. Faceless, though, Black's Terrorblade just kept getting farmed, kept getting more and more out of control. Some really good defensive reactionary plays from XY and the Earth Spirit to save Black on a couple occasions. I mean, twice in a row, Black barely gets Sunder off after like a static storm. Those are like the game-deciding moments. I feel like if you get those, even if they got one of those kills, perhaps this game doesn't go Faceless's way. If they get both, I feel like for sure Empire will walk away with a win here. So it was a very close game, and I don't feel like it was a convincing win for Faceless, even though I like the draft. I like how the TB worked as a counter. But yeah, a great way to start off this series.
Absolutely. Exciting things coming out from both sides, but I just, Black, they just didn't stop him at the start. We saw Axe getting stuff out of the lane, but there was, pretty much those 2 big attempts where they just couldn't kill him, even with a static storm. Black managed to get off those Sunders. Very tight Terrorblade performance, and as you said, kind of shout-outs really to XY, ISIS's control in the team fights, and Jabs making the mid-Venom work at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. But that was game 1. Don't go anywhere. We're going to head to the panel. We'll be back for game 2, of course, with Empire versus Faces. It's all very exciting, Red Eye.
Indeed it is. Thank you very much, Owen and Gods. We'll return to them for game 2 very shortly, of course. But time to ask the questions, the hard questions to the panel, which has changed up a little bit. We've got Capitalist back on the desk with us. I say back for the first time here at DAC, so welcome to the panel area. Unfortunately, you have to put up with Sir Action Slacks next to you. So
oh, yeah, there's a lot of prestige on this panel right now.
Hello.
Yeah. So the tough question is this, really. How wrong was Jake? That's the tough question.
I don't know.
He trash-talked Jakiro. Jakiro came. Jakiro saw. Jakiro conquered.
Trash talk is a rough word, Capitalist. You weren't here, so, I mean, I elegantly said that it might not be the strongest pick in that situation.
He trash-talked it, Cap.
Your counterpoint, Paul.
He trash-talked it.
Vlad, can I shut off both their mics and I can just do a real panel that talks about the 9 other heroes that were in that game
I mean, they
besides
played
your
their part.
weird Jakiro
they
session?
played their part. What do you mean weird?
Do you have some sort of like Siamese twin like
No.
fetish or something? Is this where this all
so.
comes from
I mean,
or
look,
something?
we'll see the replay and look what happens. The Ice Path comes in, it locks down players, they win the fight. I mean, it's as simple as that.
No, Jakiro's not even in this fight. This game was all Black's Terrorblade. It was incredible. Those last-second Sunders, that was the point. Jakiro had nothing to do with it.
Okay, I didn't see this part of the game, but I can tell you right now. I look at the minimap, I see Troll and Lifestealer both in their solo lanes. They're trying to make a gank like that happen without utilizing their Lifestealer. I mean, well, I guess it was only 6 minutes, so... but I do feel like they could have utilized this Lifestealer a lot more aggressively. Same goes for the Troll.
Watch this kick. Oh, 3-man kick.
That was
So
pretty unfortunate. I mean, if they just... I think if they just, like, established control earlier with the Lifestealer, they wouldn't have let Black get, like, this amount of stats, and then he would have died in some of these teamfight scenarios. I don't know. I think that Empire's just a little bit slow. And they're like a team with a lot of younger players, and I think they'll adapt after DAC and they'll learn this process. But I think they are just kind of a little bit too slow right now for the meta.
Yeah, I mean, joking aside, Jakiro had parts to play in this game, but it's fair to say that Terrorblade absolutely tore them apart at times. The boys said at the desk that it wasn't a clear-cut win. It wasn't as straightforward. The early game definitely was all about Faceless, but slowly but surely, Empire started to come back into this game, although it never quite looked like they could kick on and take the game by the scruff of the neck and actually win it. It always seemed like they were waiting to finish the match. So I guess it had an inevitability about it, but it wasn't clear cut.
I felt like the game that I just got done casting with the Wings versus VGJ. VGJ were making the comeback, and then it was just like 2 bad team fights, and then the game was over. And I feel like it was the same thing here. Like, this is the first team fight that really turned badly for them. Like, they were so close to being able to finish off Black there, but I don't know. I think they were just like a little bit over aggressive, a little bit overzealous at times. Like, I think they very clearly had this game won as long as they just chilled out a little bit. I would be very comfortable pushing this later game with a Lifestealer Troll against this, what is essentially a single core Terrorblade.
Yeah. There's another moment where Black barely survives in here as well. A lot of great work from XY in this game.
Yes,
he's Earth Spirit. A lot done.
Seems like everybody has their assassin Earth Spirit these days. They're one Earth Spirit guy.
Yeah, you're not a tier 1 team without an Earth Spirit player, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, we saw that earlier today with Jerax as well, going absolutely crazy.
Jeez. Well, he was the OG of the Earth Spirit, so of course you're gonna see that. But
absolutely.
Yeah, they're coming out of the
woodwork. Seen Crit do it as well at EG. So yeah, maybe there's something to it. As we look forward to game 2. Empire have got to try and bounce back here. They had some great games earlier on, so they've kind of got points on the table, which is good, but we've talked about this all day long, this difference between you win 2, you get 3 points, you win 1, you get 1 point. It's such a massive difference and can play a major role in who goes through to that top 2 positions in each group.
Yeah, I think that it is actually these sort of formats for a group stage, it is the downfall of teams. It's not when they face up against another strong team and they tie there or whatever. What is usually the downfall of these teams in this kind of point system is actually tying with some of the worst teams in their group. Not being able to obtain the clean 2-0. Like, for example, EG, they lost the series today, but they also tied out with NP, right? That was really bad for them because other teams might be able to 2-0 NP. I'm not sure. Like, NP actually looked pretty good, but it's one of those things. Is like you're facing up against the lesser teams of your group. Yeah, you can't afford a 1-1. You know, even though you may have won that series in a 2-1, if it was a best of 3, you can't afford that. You need to go the clean 2-0 if you want to be able to top out your group.
Yeah, and same goes for these 2 guys as well. I mean, Faceless, they want to close this one out. They want to finish it off.
Yeah.
Make it a 2-0 because that would actually put them in a decent position after the first day.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad. I mean, they certainly need it, Red Eye.
Yeah.
They
need the 3 points right now. As far as I'm aware, they have the 1 point right now.
Okay. I believe so.
Yeah. From their
0
2 games. They have 0?
Wow.
Oh, they didn't get a point earlier on. I thought they got a point earlier on. I haven't been following Group A. We've been focusing on Group B, obviously. So yeah, they definitely need the 3 points then.
Absolutely.
For sure in this one. MVP, lads, who stood out? We can't give it to the Jakiro, so let's talk about the other 9 players in the game.
I mean, it's probably just Black being able to get off multiple Sunders. I'm not sure like how much of that, like Black did have some good plays, but you know, a lot of that was just failure of execution and also good saving plays. I think there were some significant disruptive plays from the rest of Faceless. So I don't think it's a clear-cut MVP for Black, but it was the flashy.
It was the flash plays
stuff.
Yeah, we like the flashy plays.
That looks so good.
Yeah.
So
there is no MVP. All right, Dota's a team game. Everyone
Everyone's
that
a
plays
winner.
is the best player on the team.
Everyone's a winner, baby.
That's right.
That's the attitude that got Slack's 5K. So
is it?
I'm not going to discount it.
I think he told me differently, but
well, that and Omni Knight spam.
Okay, generous.
Yeah, no techie spam in there.
Thank you.
Looking forward, I think I was kind of like thinking about what Empire should do to. I think like they're a slower team. I don't think they're as active as they should be with some of their cores. Like I don't think like especially Chappie I think could be a lot more active in his safe lane cores and he can be like way better at tempo controlling. So in that case, I think in order to adjust, they should actually take more of an NP approach and actually draft themselves a little bit greedier and approach more late game. I think that would actually be more of a winning solution for Empire because I never feel good when I look at it and I say Empire need to get a lot done in the first 15 minutes. You know, and that's kind of what the lineup was, right? Is that they needed to establish some early pickoffs and keep Faceless from reaching their big peak, which was going to be in the mid game around 30-35 minutes. They needed to prevent that. They needed to kind of chip away at that lead that was eventually going to hit, just to be able to have just enough control of the game to prevent the end game scenario and push into late. So I want them to play maybe a little bit greedier. I want them to play a little bit, adapt more of the NP play style.
Yeah. I mean, is it a clash of styles here as well? Because we talked about styles earlier on with CIS versus China. They looked very good against LFY earlier on because of the way that they were playing. It's almost like Chinese guys were looking at them. We don't know how to play these guys. This is weird. We don't kind of understand what they're doing here. They had a sniper, they had Troll Warlord in there. Very odd composition as well. Seemed to suit them perfectly, almost the style that they've played in the CIS qualifiers that we've seen over the last couple of months. This is very different, though. This mixed team, if you like, of Singapore and Black obviously being from Germany. It's got a lot of differences in it. Do you feel like that's hurting them a little bit?
I'm not sure how much of it comes down to style. I honestly, I don't know about LFY, but my research going into this, I thought they were one of the bottom teams. So I didn't actually watch the series against Empire, so I can't actually say for sure how they're performing here at this tournament. But I would guess, at least from my research going into this, that Faceless is just a better team than LFY.
Okay, let me put it another way. Would you have had, before we came in, would you have had Empire beating an FY 2-0?
I think they're both bottom.
I think they're the bottom
like
two?
They're the 12-16 area.
Okay.
You know, like the bottom four.
Can't be 12-16, but
yeah.
bottom four of the 12.
Yeah, bottom four of the 12.
Yeah. If they finish 16th, they'd be very disappointed in a 12 team.
Yeah, I mean, that would be impressively bad.
Matt's not our strong point at this time of the night.
The second place qualifier teams that didn't even get here ranked above you. That's how crap you are.
It is fast approaching 11 p.m., which means we've been on air for 14 hours. So apologies for the maths at this time of the night. We're waiting for the final draft of the night. It is our final game of the night as well here on the mainstream. What have you been your highlights today? What have you enjoyed?
I had some fantastic games. I got to do OG versus Wings. OG.
It's a bit of a stomp, that one.
Yeah,
though,
no, well, it wasn't just like it was just a stomp. It was very enjoyable because OG played such beautiful Dota. And Wings, they very clearly, there was a lot of weaknesses there, and we saw it even further in their series against VGJ. Even if they won, they didn't look great. But it was just the fact that OG played so clean and so beautifully. And then I got to watch the same exact Dota, the very disciplined Dota coming out of NP. I keep using that word, but it was honestly so impressive to me, the way that they reacted to what EG does. EG's great at losing some early game and always being able to come back in the mid game by these just outmaneuvers and team fights and stuff. They kind of poke and prod at you in just the right ways and force mistakes to happen. And NP just, I think they played so clean for that game, considering the pressure that they were under from Evil Geniuses. So I was super impressed by that series, and I'm surprised, honestly, that NP was able to bring that kind of A game to the table. VGJ versus Wings was probably a little bit of a downer of the night. I won't lie. It was like I was watching such great Dota, and then that happened. I was kind of like,
yeah. Well, you've got to have a few bad ingredients in a sandwich to make it a good one, so that's fine.
No, I don't think that's true at all, Paul. You could just have good ingredients all across the board.
So
I don't think you need
Cap.
You're
so selfish with your sandwiches.
That's how you challenge yourself, Cap. You put in
I don't think
stuff
you
in
need
there
a little rotten fish in there in order to appreciate the lettuce.
Hold on a minute. That's a bit low, isn't it? VGJ versus Wings.
I'm not going to say which team was rotten fish.
Right? That's not
I
dead
won't
fish.
say which one. But
well,
I'm not on this panel.
No, boy, I've left.
I'm out. Nope.
Definitely moved on. We are waiting for the final draft of the night. Jake, what have you enjoyed today? You've watched a lot of Group A, haven't you?
I've watched a lot of Group A.
Yeah.
We do things differently in Group A. A lot of action, a lot of fun. Cap was there. He knows all about it. But I have to say, the performance in the Liquid versus Newbie
game.
Yep.
Hell of a game. 2-hour games just with probably the best Dota that you're going to see. Just
5-man Ravages all the way to the end.
God, 5-man Storm Spirit Ravages.
Indeed,
very good. But it wasn't just that. I mean, those two teams were so aggressive that they were warding during team fights. They were dropping wards so that they could have extra vision so that they could find more people to kill. It was absolutely insane. So definitely really good plays out there. I just like seeing this kind of new meta, right? Because everybody tries out Shadow Shaman. They're just like us on our first pub games. They're like, oh, wait, this extra attack
I don't think that's necessarily
great.
true. I think we're stretching the imagination a little
Why
bit.
else would you play Shadow Shaman, okay? I mean, they had lost every single time. But they thought that extra damage, that's going to be neat. And then it wasn't at all. So
played 3 times, lost 3 times.
Yeah.
I did watch the both Liquid series while I was in between games.
That was a contrast, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I really wanted to watch Liquid, and I also really wanted to see Newbie, obviously.
Yeah.
So Liquid was pretty disappointing, but I do think that a lot of it was drafting errors and just like some obvious stuff that I think they can clean up, you know?
Yeah.
I guess I have more hope for Liquid to bounce back in day 2 than some of the other teams that I've seen that have poor performances. There was just